Hey.
What's good? What it do? Y'all already know who it is. It's Mr. UKNOOo TV up in this mug. You heard me? Now check this out, right? First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for liking, watching, sharing, and definitely leaving y'all feedback in the comment section. Y'all know I get to everybody and speak to everybody. So, you know what I mean? But if you're not subscribed, hit me with a like, because the more that like, the more the video gets suggested to other people. But if you feeling the content, y'all already know, man. Hit that subscribe button, that bell, so you don't miss out on no content that I drop. You heard? Now, check this out. We got an interesting one today. You know what I mean? Just talking facts. Happy Father's Day to everybody. You know what I mean? And, yo, y'all already know. Before I get into that, I got to get into this.
Ride around with the pistol on the side. I blow it down with the dollar to the sky. We coming through, you niggas gotta hide. What it do, you know it's homicide.
Spitting stupid, reckless thoughts got me feeling hectic. That's life for your ass, grow up fast. Learn the ways of these streets, envy's always lurking. Devil's out, we soul searching.
Yes, sir, and I'm back like Cook. All right, now what?
Out the Cut TV, you know who it is, Cut Boy Noon, man.
And
hey, KON, how you doing?
What's good, man? So yeah, we just politicking. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Shooting the shit. So it's like, why not do some content? You know what I mean? And plus, KON. No, not KON. The KON, y'all know, but KON or KON, as he call himself. Yeah, I mean, he got a couple things that he want to talk about and he want to get off and probably pursue during the podcasting as well. So yeah, man, like
welcome KON, like
welcome KON, man.
For real, welcome KON, bro.
For real, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like really, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like your name been buzzing. You know it too, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, whatever, but your name been buzzing for good things, a lot of good things too, you know what I'm saying? More good things than anything.
And as what I've been hearing, there's been a lot of positive things, so, yeah, man.
So, welcome to the show, man. Tell everybody, man, where you from, man. How old are you, man?
For real, though, I'm from Sudan. I was originally born, and so, unfortunately, I got a unique situation, but I'm gonna go ahead and just say I'm 30 years old.
Word.
That's
what's up, man. So, how if you don't mind, how long have you been in
the States?
The States,
man. A lot of information. I gotta give it out. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, but in the States, I've been here since I was 5 years old.
5 years old, yeah. Because that was gonna be my next question. At what age you came here? You know what I mean? So how has it, like, do you go back to Sudan?
I know I haven't, but I'm gonna be a traveler soon. I'm gonna be a tourist. Just watch me. I have a plan to open networks very soon with as much as I can.
Cause you gotta go back, man. You know what I mean? That's your home. That's where you from.
Right, man.
You know what I mean? So even if you just go in to visit, man, and then you gonna gain knowledge from over there, stuff that you don't actually know, that the people are gonna tell you, like, hey, listen, you know what I mean? And then you can film your process of your travel there.
What do you remember about Sudan, man?
When I was young, man, I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember anything. I'm an American, and as far as I understand is that right now my values, everything I love, I love my country, but I don't really look at more in the sense arbitrary borders. I don't really see arbitrary borders, and I don't really see that I should force allegiance.
Explain that. What did you say? Arbitrary?
Arbitrary borders, so like invisible lines. And so a lot of times when you look at what happened in colonialism, right? When Europeans came into Africa, all they essentially did, well, it's a lot more than that. But when there was a gentleman named Otto von Bismarck, right? He was the first chancellor of Germany, right? He decided to get all these people together. It's like, basically, he was a politician. He was like, hey, we guys are fighting within Europe for a lot of times, right? Yeah. It's like, hey, why don't we come together and actually organize a way for us to do this politically, in regards to how he noticed that all other European countries are also going out
Yeah.
and trying to colonize and invade. So it's like, hey, let us come together and come and how we're gonna deal with Africa, because if we do it, so they called it, it was the Berlin Conference, right, 1884, and so but what they did, because each of these countries were already in different regions already.
Yeah.
They were in, and so because they were different, they were like, hey, we're already over here, so we're gonna go ahead and circle this part out, and this is gonna be ours, and we're gonna circle this part out. It's more complicated than that,
Right.
but in a sense, they created random lines throughout Africa, and then created countries, and so that's why you have different tribes. You have a tribe in one country, while you have tribes in another country, because in regards to African formation, Europeans interrupted African formation. So for me to accept Europeans' acceptance of country based off the allegiance alone, no, I accept the allegiance of the country that I live in, my community, but a sense where once that idea grows, where Africa is revolutionized in a way, sense where I believe there was an author, she called it the cheetah generation. I forgot her name. She's Nigerian, but I don't want to mess it up right now, so I'm just not gonna say it at the moment.
When you grow up mostly in Atlanta?
No, I grew up everywhere, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
So where are you lived in the States?
I lived in Georgia. I lived.
What was Georgia like?
It was different than Maine, Southern. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I first interacted with white people outside of church, was when I moved to Maine.
Okay.
And I always had this distance idea of
So every other state that you live at was like you was majority in the black community and.
Depending, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I've interacted with Indian communities. That's why I've lived in multiple lives. Like, this is just like, I know, like, people don't realize, like, America's a lot more segregated than it is, but I'm the only one who sees it. I'm like, hey, when I go hang out with Indian, when I go hang out with white folks, it's gonna always have the feeling of you joining them. But the only time you feel like they're joining you, it's when it's a weird concept of people. It's not.
You ain't saying all. You ain't saying.
I don't
all
want to sound
white.
prejudiced.
You just saying like it's just something coming from experience. Cause I met like some lovely white people. Man.
Yeah,
like,
there's some nice ones and there's some straight.
I have
dickheads.
For instance, man, like one time, bro, I was when I first moved to Maine, especially in Maine. Man, I was up at this party one time. I was like in college too. I was going to the University of Maine, and man, I was at this college party. This chick was jumping, man. I knew the dude who owned the house and shit. Like, I'm at the party and then, like, I seen this tall dude, man, tall white guy. You know what I mean? Tall. He had to be like 6'3", but he was talking about like as soon as I got there, I had to be there. A couple of girls gave me hugs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I walked through looking different. I'm in this small ass town. And dude goes, I hear him talking to one of his friends that's inside the house. I stepped outside the house to get my smoking on, you know what I mean, and talk to people.
Yeah.
I heard him talking in the background like, yo, I'll pound him right now. I'll go outside and do it. That's what he's saying to this
Talking
dude.
about you?
Talking about me. Yo, so I said, yo, you know me, man. You know what I mean? I said, yo, who you talking to, man? Like, who you talking to? Who you talking to? Who you talking about? He was like, oh man, I wasn't talking about you. I was like, now, he definitely talking about me. Or it
was
he
he intoxicated while he was doing that?
Bro,
he was talking?
he had eyes on me the whole time when I was in there, man.
Yeah,
he was
so
locking
he talking
eyes on
about
me.
you.
He was locking eyes on me. Like, when I walked in, he kind of just like noticed me.
The thing was, he didn't expect you to approach him and was like, "Are you talking about me?"
But I say
that threw him totally off.
It did. It did. But I ain't even have to say nothing because my friend Billy, man, cool white dude, man. I love Billy, man. And shout out to Billy Nagy. Yeah. For real. Hey, he told me, he said, yo, he heard what was going on and he walked right over to the situation and he told dude, he was like, yo, you got a problem with my friend? He was like, No, I ain't got a problem with him. He's like, because if we do, we can step outside and I'll beat your ass right now. That's what he told him. I was like, damn. I was like, yo, Billy, just let him alone. Let's just chill, bro.
That's
you know what I mean? I ain't even studying the motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let's
for
just,
real, man.
You know what I mean?
But some people, they just
that
be
was
talking
dope.
out the ass, man. But for him to go over as well and stick up for you, that's dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
That showed true friendship right there. You know what I mean? True friendship.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against white folks. I just make that example only in regards to stating how divided or the country is, and in regards to even recognizing it, even and placing yourself in how human relationship works and how what's it called with sociology, how people interact and even how tradition and values grow. It comes from communities, and unfortunately, you have to always acknowledge. That's why I was so interested. The fact is, your your wife's grandparents came from India, and I'm like, wow, that she looks like a white woman. But then I thought about, whoa, let me think about this. I know a little bit of history. I know about the caste system in India. And
But she didn't come from India.
No, they didn't. But they came. They had. What do you mean? Were they born in India or they're
they're mostly like
they're born in the U.S.
Born mostly in I forgot where, but they migrated over to Canada and then came down to Maine.
Were they light skinned or were they born?
They wasn't dark skinned.
Were they born? White. So they weren't Indians as regards to the
her mother and her grandmother's Indian.
Were they dark skinned Indians?
No, they're white Indians, like white Indians.
Yeah,
white Indians.
Yeah, regardless of not knowing in regards to specifically their heritage, it just made me realize in regards to how the caste system worked. And then when I look at how immigration, they had to have been around, white communities in order for a generation to
of course, living up in Maine, like if you actually go up north and actually see, like where it grew up at, it's really nothing there. You know what I mean? It's just like if you go into you go to a town in Alabama where it's barely nothing there, but you still got the majority of the population of the people is like 500, close to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? It's really not much, but they still struggle like everybody else did. You know what I mean? There was times where she was like her parents grew up without even having power. You know what I'm saying? Like. It's different struggles, different families, and especially where you live. You know what I mean? It's like, so there could have been, I don't know where my mom's lived at when she grew up. You know what I mean? She was in South Carolina, but I don't know how, her living environment was. But then again, with my mom's, see, back in that era, you know what I'm saying, with the slavery and everything, her mother, my grandmother gave her away. You know what I mean? Gave her brother, and another sister away and kept certain ones because she had 9 siblings. So she gave some away. Now, my mother still wanted to know her sisters and brothers and stuff like that. Even though she gave them away, you know what I mean? And she told the lady that, that's going to be taking care of her. You can't take care of her no more. Give her back. You know what I'm saying? But I got an uncle that I never met, that my mom's know, and she was she keep asking him, hey, come down and see the family, and he's like, I don't want nothing to do with him just because the mother gave him away. You know what I mean? But I felt which is your sisters and brothers don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? You should still know your family and, you know what I mean, the rest of them, but is to see how they live, how they grew up.
How old are you? How old are you?
I said 30.
30.
Yeah.
So you say you came in the States when you was 4. How long were you in Atlanta, man? Cause Atlanta, you said Atlanta was different than Maine. What was it like living in Atlanta?
I'm not gonna lie to you. In regards to personal life, I don't really want to put it out too much to the details, but I went to college in Atlanta. I went to Morehouse College. And so
that's what's up.
How was your
went
experience
4
there?
years. Morehouse was the best thing to happen to me. Just realized, fake it till you make it. So, and at times it showed me that, and now coming to reality, living in the city of the Benjamin E. Mays, the same city that Benjamin E. Mays went to high school, the same city that in college I did a short time be able to do research and reading in Benjamin Mays, and and him speaking about Lewis and his interaction and even going to the different restaurants and how they perceived him, it was always like, wow, I'm from that city. I can't believe that out of all places I went to college and I'm learning about how much it influenced not even civil rights but history. Lewiston's a great city, and so that's why I'm always like, I came back. But the same way, Atlanta is a different experience. Like I said, people, culture, tradition is burnt differently, and that's why in regards to white people, it have nothing to do. What else can I say with regards to Caucasians, Americans? Yes, but in regards to how people are born, tradition is created by people accepting it, but it's by people telling you something is true, then you accepting it, and then your generation before it starts you building onto it. And that's how, when we talk about not even the idea of critical race theory, right, but the idea of how things came about, it was built on, if race wasn't a problem, you want to be in a state where there was a majority white people, and now like you're dark, like if race didn't matter, we want to be different races, we want to be different, but at the same time America is a unique place. But there needs to be people who are speaking their opinion. In order for you great, it needs people speaking their opinion.
You gotta realize there's other countries too that they don't like Americans or they don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just America. You got that in different other countries as well. You know what I mean? Right. That's everywhere. Like that is everywhere. Cause you can go to fucking Russia, and they ain't gonna like you. You know what I mean? Or you could just, speak out of line. Oh, no, the cops try to arrest you. You say, like, the wrong thing, and there you go. You're locked up, and you don't even know what the hell you said. Like what did I do?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. I done had, like, and then, Judy, you say South Carolina. When I was in South Carolina, man, I had, like, white people that was coming at me and my family. And my uncle, man.
Hold
like,
up.
This
man is calling saying I stole his bike.
Because there's some people.
That's too much.
But y'all already know what it is, man. It's UKNOOo TV, man. Leave y'all feedback in the comment section. You heard, like, and share, man. If you're feeling the content, hit that subscribe button. It's UKNOOo.
Why they tryna knock me off my fucking grind? Why these bitches always hating all the time? Why these lame niggas tryna stop my shine? Cause I be on my shit. These niggas hating